Greetings, everyone. Welcome back to Blade Bias. Blade Show 2026 is history. It's in the books. It's over. Which also means that 2026 is almost halfway over now. Oh, I think I just threw up in my mouth a little bit. That is insane. I cannot believe I just said that Blade Show 2026 is over. And the next one is going to be Blade Show 2027. Ugh. 2015 was almost... I almost said it was almost 10 years ago. Nope, it's over 10 years ago. It's 11 years ago. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Okay, anyway. Emotional disturbance aside, Blade Show was amazing. As you can see, I made a few purchases while we were there. Stopped by the Andrew Myers booth and got something for myself. And I actually got a few other things from the show, but I'm going to keep that a little bit close to my chest as a tiny bit of a surprise, because I think some of them are going to be fairly exciting. And yes, they will all be getting videos. I'm going to kind of beta test what you guys think of like an all-in-one video with like the Aeon video that I eventually do. Because obviously, first time I flipped it was at Blade Show. I can't really give you a first impressions of it. So the one video that I do on it is going to be kind of me telling you about my first impressions, and then also getting a follow-up in about what I think of it after flipping it for a little bit longer. And of course we will get into, you know, the other videos that I owe you, the Draco Lisk, the Orion V2, etc. But channel updates aside, Blade Show, as usual, was a great success in my opinion. It was incredible meeting everyone and talking to everyone. And it was just an incredible experience overall, as usual. As you can see, my collection has survived. The foam has looked better, but that's actually not the fault of anyone at the show. That is the airline's fault. So thanks, guys, for drop kicking my luggage a few dozen times. I really appreciate it. I do think turning them around and not having handles down like that really did help, because none of the foam is falling apart. I also do have to thank everyone who did come up and try things from my case. Everyone was super considerate of both the foam and the order that I had things in. If you came up and tried things from my case at Blade Show, you would notice that most of my time was spent managing, okay, put this back here, put this back here. And I swear it's not because I'm a freak about order. It's just because I had a mental image of what this case is supposed to look like, and it helps me quickly identify what's missing, what someone's flipping, what I don't have. So if everything starts getting jumbled up, it's going to take me a lot longer to realize what's missing, and we don't really want that. So I thank everyone for that. And I also want to give a huge thank you to every single person that talked to me this year and came up and said hi. There were a lot of people who it was their first Blade Show and they came up and they said hi, and I really, really enjoyed that. There was a lot of people who I've met in previous years. We got to talk more. Also really enjoyed that. Basically anyone who came up and talked to me, I really enjoyed it. So, and I hope you guys did as well. My one regret is that I didn't give everyone the time that I usually like to give people, and I do apologize for that. Usually I like to have at least a few minute conversation, but some people just caught me at times where I was locked in on something else or I was busy doing something, and I do totally apologize for that. I hope I was able to give everyone at least a tiny bit of time to talk and hang out, and I hope I made your Blade Show even just a little bit better. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't, who knows. But there were a lot of people who it was their first time, and there were some amazing people that I got to hang out with over the course of the weekend. Now, I am going to give a few examples. Please note that this is not an exhaustive list of people who it was their first Blade Show. I met many more. If I don't list you, I promise it's not because I forgot you or I didn't enjoy talking to you. These are just an example of some people that the commenters that the Blade Bias people might recognize and be excited to hear. Oh, they went to Blade Show. Oh, that's super cool. People like, you know, Bally Unk, Oto Kanoko Flips, Spirit, Nick Snacks. There were a bunch of people, and it was super cool to talk to all of them. So I hope you guys enjoyed your Blade Show if it was your first time. But there were some pretty amazing experiences during Blade Show as well. Obviously, there's the lunch every day, which usually ends up being, you know, maybe if you go to Blade Show, you'll experience this too. Last year I had lunch with different people every day. Um, and this year it was very similar, getting to talk to different people and learn different things about them, and it was super super cool. Obviously, we have like the core group, like our on the job flips, pyro, etc. People like that, but there were some new faces this year, particularly Ballyunk. Was so great to meet you in person, Scott. If you don't know Ballyunk, I actually collabed with him a few months ago. It was one of my last streams that I did on my main channel. And by last, I mean most recent. I do still plan on streaming, but he was awesome. You guys on this channel might recognize the Scott24 username from a few Flip the Script episodes. So it was super amazing to meet him in person. Scott is a really, really, really cool dude, and I highly recommend that you go and check out his channel. And there were old friends that we got to talk to and hang out with for the first time in a year that I've been excited to hang out with all year. People like Pyro and MK, and Cream Soda has kind of become a staple of Blade Show. This is the second year in a row that I was able to sit down at the pit and really like talk with him for a good length of time. The pit was also sick because for the first time I stayed there really late on Saturday night. Usually there were plans or something else that was going on that I had to go to, or I was like, someone else was my ride and they wanted to leave early or something along those lines that meant I never really got to stay very late at the pit. And this year I was at the pit until like, 12 or 1 a.m. and it was really awesome. I cannot get over how busy the pit stays so late into the night. You would expect that people would go home and go to their hotels, especially because Blade Show is like, I don't want to say it's a physically demanding experience because you're just walking around. It's not like you're running a freaking marathon all day, but like it kind of is at the same time. You know, there's a lot of mental stuff that goes into socializing all day, especially as someone who's not used to doing that, like myself, and then carrying my case around and everything. So you get back to the hotel and you're like, okay, I am ready to go to bed. And you would think that everyone else would be too, but dude, the pit stays open. I want to say there's some people that probably go all night. There were people playing like mock blackjack. As far as I know, not betting any actual things, but just like someone brought like a blackjack set with the chips and they just played blackjack. I was like, that's freaking sweet. Ton of different conversations with a ton of different people. Ton of ballast songs that I got to try. Some that you guys might be excited to hear about. I got to try a Crescent. I got to try a new 7075 cheese. I will make videos talking about that in the future. That won't be in this video, but I'll do my best to get you my opinions on those things. Probably in the same video, since I don't have either of them to physically flip while I talk about them, but either way. And I came home with a lot of additions to the collection, which does bring me to the fact that the only reason that I'm able to go to Blade Show and spend money on any of this stuff is because of you guys. And I want you to know that I appreciate that and I don't take it for granted. I do not make a lot of money off of YouTube. It's like, I'm not making thousands a month off of this stuff, trust me, but it is enough that I'm able to save it up over the course of a year and put it towards Blade Show and put it towards buying all these awesome knives at Blade Show, which in turn means that I can make more videos for you guys about these awesome knives. So I just wanted to say that I really do appreciate you guys just watching the ads. That's all it takes. I mean, I'm not telling you to watch the ads. I know how annoying they get, but just the fact that there are people who do, and there are people who stick through these videos so that I can make a tiny bit of ad revenue. And I don't have to make a Patreon because I don't want your money. I just want to steal Google's money, really. You guys probably have enough on your plate financially without giving it to some dumbass like me. I'm perfectly fine just taking Google's ad money. But I really do appreciate that there are enough people who watch these videos so that I am able to go to Blade Show, not only go, but fund that trip using this channel. I don't take it for granted, and I really do appreciate it. I don't know. What's a highlight of Blade Show? The rave was pretty good. Maybe a few less people than last year, but they gave out these little cheese keychains. Actually, do I have one? I do. They gave out these little 3D printed 3D printed cheese keychains to anyone who attended, which was super cool. The rave was really good. I got to help set up this year, which I enjoy. I do enjoy like setting stuff like that up, being kind of like a crew, so to speak. And then the benefit that I still get to enjoy the party afterwards. It was super cool. And before that, I managed to get lunch with Scott. Genuinely, it was a whole group, but Scott was a part of the group. Genuinely kind of a highlight of my weekend, honestly. Scott, if you're watching, that guy rocks. Chat, you got to meet Scott if you go to Blade Show. But yeah, even beyond that, just the people that I got to talk to and the ballad songs that I got to try and the ballad songs that I got to buy were just incredible. The only regret that I have, well, the only few regrets that I have is that I didn't spend as much time talking to people as I really wanted in terms of like people that came up and met me for the first time. I didn't get to walk the show as much as I usually do, and I didn't get to go to every single ballad song table and have like a good conversation with the person running it. Usually I like to do that. I'll try and go to anyone selling a ballad song and just kind of have like a 5-10 minute conversation at the very least with them. I didn't do that this year. I spent a lot of my time at a few of the booths, and you know, it is what it is. I say I regret it. I really don't, because ultimately I spent that time still talking to people and still having a good time. But just something that I was thinking about. Usually I do enjoy kind of walking around the show a little bit, but it's a tough balancing act because then you don't talk to as many people, and I don't think there's any way to really satiate both of those desires at the same time. Regardless, it was a good show. It was a great show even. I had a great time. Thank you to everyone who talked to me, tried a ballad song, let me try one of their ballad songs. Had some amazing conversations this weekend, and just an amazing time overall. Anyone who went, I hope you had a good time, whether it was your first or your second or your 15th time at Blade Show. Hopefully they get better than the last year. I do hear that opinion a lot, that they keep getting better each year, and I have to say, for the most part, I do agree. So big thanks to everyone. Hopefully you had a good Blade Show. If you didn't, hopefully that will be made up by the fact that a lot of your favorite content creators are going to have a lot of content to talk about going forward, whether it's their experience at Blade Show or the knives they bought at Blade Show or whatever the case may be. But I think that does it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Later.